Cicero, Illinois may share a border with Chicago, with its dramatic skyline always on the horizon, but this small city has a culture and vibrancy all its own. Nurtured over the past decade by a new generation of leaders, Cicero has experienced rapid improvements in safety, education, and community health. The passion and determination of the largely immigrant population has transformed a town that was once a haven for violent street gangs into a warm and welcoming community for its some 80,000 residents.
The change in Cicero has been pretty quick. Can't exactly pinpoint one thing. It was sort of the perfect storm for good community involvement and action.
A couple of decades ago, there was a lot of gang activity and it was very out in the open. So organizations got together with the police department to actually figure out what they could do to solve the gang issue.
After we implemented some of our initiatives, we started to see results. The violent crime numbers began to get lower and lower every year. One of the things that we did was we developed a lot of great relationships with residents in the community, and because families and police are working more closely together, parents will approach us before their child is involved in a situation that maybe they can't necessarily come back from. It seems simple to say that, anytime you can put a face to a name, engage with someone, that builds a stronger relationship. I think that that's something about Cicero that's wonderful.
Everybody has the same mission. It's for the community, it's for the youth. I think that has been a very, very strong driving force that is very positive in Cicero.
Trauma impacts each facet of a person's life. So when we address trauma, we are addressing so much more than just someone's mental health, but really health as a whole.
Youth Crossroads is an organization that helps develop leadership skills in our youth. The police department and Youth Crossroads are doing a wonderful job in talking about trauma.
So we've done an entire training for the Cicero Police Department that looks at what is trauma, what signs and symptoms they can expect from witnesses, victims, even perpetrators of crime, and then how police can do trauma-informed policing. The longer we wait to deal with trauma, the bigger impact it's having on that young person. So if we can address trauma early on, it's going to change the trajectory of their life.
One of the biggest strengths in Cicero is the heart of the community. It's the parents.
We used to have these problems where, we have youth selling drugs around the schools, recruiting around the schools.
Parent Patrol is a group of parents stationed outside of the schools and just doing kind of like a safe passage for our students.
In Cicero, it's really the mothers who are leading the charge and saying, this is what we want for our families and this is how we're going to get it done.
The impact of the Parent Patrol has changed the atmosphere around the school. You no longer will see other young people selling drugs or just going there to do, malicious things, Why? Because they see these parents there and they see them as, as authority within our community.
You know what? The Peace Movement is a summer-long program conducted by Corazon Community Services that just helps bring families together for a night of peace and trust within their parks.
Years back, a lot of these parks were used as gang meeting places, and now we're taking over the park and doing something positive in them. In the summer, we have a lot of kids in our community, and a lot of times they have nowhere else to go, and we've been reaching out to them. And it's been awesome to collaborate with other organizations, the government, the school, and get them involved with the work that we're doing.
The town is doing a very good job in trying to get families healthy, and not just physically, but just emotionally as well, just going out and talking to each other and having a space to do so. In any given time of day, there's always somebody walking, jogging, walking their dog, playing with their kids.
There's nothing quite that sums up Cicero like going to the soccer fields on a Wednesday night and you see hundreds of kids and their parents, Spanish, English, running around, playing together. There's this sense of community that we're in this together.
The community is really vested in our youth. and the future, and they value the importance of healthcare in terms of how it's correlated with education and safety. It all comes together to bring a better, healthier community.
The school-based health center is at Morton East. It once was about to lose its funding and it was going to close down, but our community got together and worked very hard to keep it open.
Adolescents are the least likely to access healthcare, and especially primary care. And school-based health centers are in a unique position where we meet students where they're at, which is their school. We have renovated, and we're going to be able to expand our services to a broader population of youth, which is very exciting.
One of the strong points in Cicero is the All Our Kids network. They make sure that all of the resources that are pertaining to early childhood in Cicero work together in order to provide the best education, the best resources for our little ones. We have a group of parent ambassadors that go out in the community to promote early education.
Our parent ambassadors are canvassing in the community to help identify where there might be families who are not getting services. We see more parents becoming more active and engaged, not just in their child's school, but on their own block and in the larger community.
The home visiting program is a program through Family Focus, Nuestra Familia. Home visitors go to a family's home and they do activities that will enhance the growth of the child.
We're supporting families in those very key, critical first 3 years of life where their brain is developing the most, to support parents to ensure their kids are on track and to meet their goals for themselves and for their child.
I believe that home visits, they set the foundation for the family to be ready for kindergarten. Corazon Community Services is an organization that provides after-school programming and mentoring services for our community.
The Fuerza Youth Center is what we call the baby of the agency of Corazon. It's a safe haven for our young people. If you're a disconnected youth and you don't feel like you're a part of something, a group, a gang can easily influence you, right, and take you under their wings. A big thing for us is to give young people a safe place to be at. And just simply having a door for them to come through. And these programs that we do, whether it's an after-school program or a sports tournament, that's our way of addressing violence. So we provide health initiatives for them. We provide sex ed in the high school. So we talk to young people about relationships and how to be safe and protecting themselves. We've seen a reduction in teen pregnancies at the high school level, which is a very good thing.
One of the unique things that they have is the Health Ambassador program, where high school students get to talk to their peers about health issues, specifically sexual health.
We're spreading the word, we're going around, passing out flyers so people are aware.
If we can work with young people and prevent them from getting involved in things that they shouldn't, then, we're off to a good start.
The work in Cicero is really being driven by the residents, by the families, by the mothers, by the young people.
The Cicero Community Collaborative is comprised of different community organizations that work towards the health and the betterment of our community.
One of the biggest impacts of our work is that community members are engaged in the process and decision making.
When the buy-in is strong, then you get long-standing effects. A mother who's involved in the process is then going to ensure that her children have a stake in the process as well.
Well, as a parent, if I want to tell my kids about health, I have to start with me. I have to teach with example.
They're being empowered from a very young age to see their family members leading the work that's being done, and therefore they're going to be the next generation of leaders for this town.
This is not about my son or my 2 daughters. This is about all the kids in this community. They are my sons and they are my daughters.
We're taking back our community. It belongs to all of us, and we all have a hand in making this work. And so we're coming together to make that happen.
Cicero is amazing.
It's a great place to be.
It's a blessing to be able to see that all this is happening in the town of Cicero. We're becoming better and better, are working together to make a change within our community.